of
Yeah, we're going to
tonight.
tank picking. And so you guys know, this is the tank picking we alluded to in the introduction. You can see Flare is on the top. They are on attack. They get to pick 2 tanks first. They pick a CS and an IS-7. Each team has 45 seconds total to kind of pick their tanks. Now, Tomatitos have 4 picks, and you can see they're double VZ IS-17-100. Now the 3 question marks there showing you Flare has those 3 tanks to ready up. Then Tomatitos will have 2, and then Flare will have 1. And they can see what each other are picking, so there's a lot of strategy, and we've talked about that evolving throughout the season as well. Tanks being held, figuring out what's being brought and what to ready up first. And the T100 is a big thing to ready up early for Tomatitos.
And so,
ooh, big boy.
Oh, interesting.
Double Super Conk. I think the Super Conquerors are a monster pick against 60 TP. When I think of this map, I think of 60 TPs, I think, yeah, that's a nice beefy tank, but Super Conquerors, I just feel like are going to do everything the 60 TP is going to do pretty much better, just with the way they're able to snap and with their gun handling and the APCR. The 60 TP, it's like if you miss, like that's not good.
That's a good point. Yeah, is the DPM's not there, but the alpha is, right? And so, in this format, if everybody hits the same guy all together, then what happens? That 60 TP has that alpha to where that guy's going down, right?
True. And because
that's the thing we talked about earlier in the
right?
season, right? We said 2 VZs can't clip out a single VZ, but what can? A 60 TP hitting him first, and then all you need is 3 VZ shots, right?
True.
And
here we go. The first round of the playoffs. Smiley, I'm pumped. I am pumped. And you can see here, Tomatitos, look at the HP. It's only 210 more in favor of
and that's
Tomatitos.
because they brought 2 soups, and while the other guys brought 2 VZs. VZs don't have a lot of HP, even though they're heavies, right? Especially if
I've
they
gotten
set
a chance
them
to
up
play
for...
some VZ, and it's we've got a Luxon doing a Germ Scout with Dark Ninja. And Dark Ninja is just going right after him. He misses
so much.
Oh no!
Down to 1 shot already.
That is not great.
What were you saying about HP being even?
It isn't. Down to 13K. Smiley and I both just kind of stumbling over each other's words there, because we're both like, I felt like we both were feeling every hit going into Dark Ninja as if it was us driving the tank.
Yeah.
It's like, no. Really well done by Tomatitos.
Oh, wow, look at this. Nexus. And they're bleeding Nexus too, but Server's going to take some bleed here by the Super Conk and the VZ.
Oh, that's why they brought the 60 TP. They had the plan to use the 60 TP, how teams have used the I-7 to get the resets, because 60 TP has that slightly more gun depression and can get the resets much easier.
It has 8 degrees, and they probably tested it, because it had you know how like most heavies don't keep side degrees of gun depression? It actually does. Right. So it probably can just poke that ridge really well,
Right.
Also,
and
it has
to poke it from the south, because if you see
if I remember, if my recollection is correct, it has pretty high HE pen too. It's like above 70 or something.
And it's a high caliber.
Yeah, that's also
so it shouldn't have too many issues getting a reset. Luxon going aggressive here. They know they have to clear some of this out. Dodo's in the corner. One of Team
it's really interesting that once they bled Dark that much, they're kind of setting up in a really interesting place like E8, like in those buildings.
Yeah, and
he's going to proxy Dodo. We'll see what kind of reaction he has. Oh, he's going up.
Ooh.
The VZs are probably going to try to shoot him here.
Dodo's saying, I'm going for it. See if the rest of his team was ready for it.
Oh, Dodo misses both shots. He's going to get... Luxon tried to go for the permatrack, but he didn't get it. But I mean, that bleed is insane.
That is
really
Luxon,
what are you doing? That wasn't... Well, I guess it was worth it.
Okay. I guess I
don't know if I would have done that myself personally, but he might have lit the Super Conk, because the Super Conk definitely was in his view range, so that might have, you know what I mean.
Serve needs the reset too. Like it's like they're getting a lot of punish, but at the same time they can still lose if Serve doesn't.
He gets the reset, but he also takes so much damage for that.
Both CSs pen that.
Yep.
Team Flare, a lot of people's favorites to actually win the entire thing. But like we said,
and we're seeing a push here. Fluky leading it. They're gonna go on here on Onion now. They know that Dodo can't really help him out. Sebastian's going to pick up the kill here, and they're going to keep on going across. It looks like Luxon's actually trying to 1v1 Dodo in the corner there. He's probably going to take him down here soon. And it looks like Bloop is trying to help Dodo out, but he's tracking Fluky here. Fluky actually perma'd. And the VZs are reloading. Now they're focusing so Hector. Much.
They had a bad exchange with Dodo, and they bad exchange at the beginning. Dodo down to 1 HP. And that's just put them in a situation where
Sheep
even though
coming in here a little late,
reset, they're just going to go kill him.
Ooh, Fluky got the high roll there.
Wow. And that's going to pretty much seal the fate. It's going to be Team Flare on their map of choice. They're going to lose the first round. Now, it is an attack. You can always say, oh, well, it is an attack. But, everything kind of went wrong. Yes, they can still come back from Dark Ninja taking that much punish at the beginning, but it certainly doesn't make things easy. And then Dodo missing his shots as well didn't help things. But Tomatitos, the biggest thing that I'm seeing is they aren't missing any shots. Now, some of it can be some blessed RNG, but a lot of it is more they were set up to shoot at Dark Ninja, and they were set up to shoot at Dodo, and they really were ready. Multiple guns were ready.
Look at these shots coming out.
External probably just trying to run out the clock a little bit, let his team get a breather, figure out. Okay,
hey, let's reset. Let's think about things. It's just, it's their defense. We could talk about things later. Sebastian getting caught on fire. External getting all the fantasy points.
Oh. So I think I may be a second or two behind you. I'm at 306. 5,
303, 302, 301.
Okay, I'm about 2 seconds behind. Maybe it'll sync up. I'll do a refresh after this and hope. And there we go.
We both made it. Oops. Well, yeah. So yours is a little bit behind, and I forgot to turn my sound on because when I first put up the clean feed, I heard ourselves, so I just muted it. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we were still talking to Viral. But it's okay. World of Tanks sound, not really needed. No flange. We have it now, though. That's all that matters.
First win of the postseason, and also, first round win of the postseason, but also the team that were the last ones to get in. They got in
the last ones to get in. Basically, it was, it's really interesting to say this, but, the way that the points worked, basically, Tomatitos had to pray that FHS lost. If FHS won, they'd be here, and Tomatitos won, right? Which is really interesting. And so, but I think that so far they're showing us that hey, we're still in it. I know for a fact that they've been scrimming a lot, but the thing is, both of these teams have been scrimming a lot, right? Like we said before, both of these teams are I would say both of these teams came in kind of underdog-y. I would say that Team Flare obviously was a way better looking team, but their pickups were insane, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure External on the team from the very beginning.
He was.
Okay. So External was on the team from the very beginning, but he was force multiplier. I think he even said he was rusty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He even admitted he was rusty. Yeah, and so they had a really weird team cohesion. I feel like in the beginning. But now picking up, Skip and Dodo is just insane, right?
And I'd say with External, by the second week, it looked like he kind of hadn't stopped playing in 5 years.
Correct.
You know what I mean? He may have been rusty the first match day or two, but it's funny how some players, it's just give me a few days. And they're good to go, because that External did look a little rusty at first, but
it'd be like that.
At the same time, it's also the first match days. Teams are getting used to new formats and things. There's a lot of factors at play, and you can also just have an off day. But yeah, Tomatitos though, they've been radically inconsistent, but they're a bunch of players that have played together a lot, and they kind of can be, I don't want to say unpredictable, but they kind of dance to the beat of their own drum.
I would say that Sheep is an insane caller. Sheep is so good at calling. Other callers in the league have openly said that he's good at caller. I'm pretty sure when I interviewed Wally and Knight on one of the League After Dark, they both admitted they're like, dude, Sheep does weird stuff and it works, and he's really good in small format and stuff like that, right? So, when you have your competitors even complimenting you, I mean, that's big. That's a lot of weight, right? And I think it was just
Mm-hmm.
getting those guys up to snuff, right? And to be honest with you, if you look at the history of Tomatitos compared to the other teams that we've seen thus far, I would say that their biggest downfall was they played the small format too much like pubs sometimes. Like they were like we've talked about it too when we've seen it, where like people should be taking shots for each other, and you don't really see that. You don't really see that as much on Tomatitos, right? And I feel like that's like one of their biggest downfalls because I mean you see it so much on like Burbology, Jack's AFK, and Team Flare, right? Even FHS, where like there's a one shot VZ, the IS-7 will literally turn sideways in front of the one shot VZ, right? Because at the end of the day, the one shot VZ, he's probably going to only have 15 seconds left on his reload, right? In that scenario, and he can do 1,000 more damage.
We're going into the second round too.
We are.
And Flare, they want this win. Again, it's a best of 9 now, so it's first to 5. But we saw the Leopard pick from Tomatitos. We have an IS-7, double VZ Super Conqueror, Leopard T100. Sticking with that T100 worked out really well last round, and then double CS, V1 VZ, double Super Conqueror, and the IS-7 from Flare on their defense. And maybe this time it appears there will not be a CS doing the mid scout run from Flare. Now the sides, although they seem symmetrical, the timings in the middle aren't exactly the same, and a lot depends on spawns. And
we go Luxon getting some pretty good vision. I'm pretty sure he lit all 4 of them, except for the excluding the CS.
Yes, indeed, and I forgot to actually refresh my feed, so I'm just going to do it really quickly.
Sebastian's coming over here a little bit slow because he's a super conk. Loop getting there a lot quicker. I think that side does get there quicker. Wait, I thought the attacking side got there quicker. He might be as well.
So they're actually sitting, is it the IS-7 and the Leopard at K1-2? And Dark, we've seen Flare aggressively take that line before, and it seems Tomatitos maybe just tried to set up a little bit of a bait trap there, but yeah, they seem to have the info and the intel and aren't going for it. And it's external in the other CS on the 9-0 line. Very much on his lonesome, but I remember he's played that position before, even back in old formats and bat chats and the like. And that's a really risky spot, but it's really, really close where he can spot and then kind of disengage or decide to just go to A8 instead. And he's just got to make a really split-second decision based on what he sees and stuff, whether to give up the ground or not. Luxon here in his T100 trying to clear a little bit of line, a little bit of the 2 line.
Yeah, so what's your time at? Mine did a little refreshing.
6:07.6.
Oh, now you're ahead of me. Easy clap.
Oh, really? By how much?
6:05, 6:04, 6:03. Like 3 seconds, same as you.
Wait, really? You're at... I'm at 55, 54. Is it that bad?
I'm at 57, 56.
Oh, dude, I'm like 4 seconds ahead of you now. How did that happen? Try refreshing one more time real quick.
Yeah, I'll refresh.
And then just give me your timer. If I'm still really far ahead, it's okay. It's okay, guys. They're just driving into positions. Nothing major is happening right now. Fluky moving to the 2 line.
36, 35, 34.
I am 1 second max ahead of you. We're pretty much synced up.
Perfect. And it's still gonna go slow here. I think Toma was hoping that Team Flare might take a bait. But I mean, I feel like the Leo one is kind of like a really obvious, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna snipe you when you push. But the Leo one also does have the benefit that it can, push if needed, but it's gonna be really weird here because I mean, the Leo, theoretically, I don't know if a Leo wins a 1v1 against a CS. Just because
I don't know if it does either.
Difference.
It has good DPM.
Right.
But I think
the damage difference is only like what, 30? 420 versus 390, so it's like not really, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and the Leo is auto pen. Like it's dang near impossible.
It's definitely more likely that he like bounces the CS than the CS bounces him 100%.
And for other guns too, it's like you start playing tanks like IS-7s and stuff in this format where we talked about the 60 TP before, and you go, oh gosh, I just need to make my shot count. Like you see something like a Leo and you go, oh thank God, like I will make that shot count, no problem, right? And then some other tanks, you're like, I need to really aim and make sure this connects. and they're gearing up for a 2-line push. We saw very few 2-line pushes into enemy tanks in the regular season, and I've got to admire Flare for their grit and determination here. They've got the map and they know where tanks are, and they're just holding the line. Dark Ninja's just retreating to a more effective spot to receive this push. And Flare's been burning the clock. There's 4 minutes left. And now Tomatitos is only just now starting their push.
And Nexus takes a shot here, but it's not really that much. Sitting in the... I mean, he's sitting in like the really nice, I'm gonna light everybody driving down the 2-line for my team. It's really hard to pick me. I can like go over if you guys push too hard. I really feel like Tomatitos doing this, I don't know. I don't think they win this, but we'll see. Nexus taking a lot of damage. A lot of damage.
That was a not great poke. Now Dodo and Bloop are arriving though.
Correct.
It's going to be an up and over. They want to delete
I mean, they're going
to
up and over serve, but maybe this is the bait that they wanted? I don't know. I mean, serve is going to go down here, probably to Dark, most likely, because Dodo... Oh, no, it actually goes down to Blue. Nexus is now one shot. Fluky is looking to back off here. Hector just...
Bloop's in an awful position now. He has to get out of there, not just retreat that way. Like, he has to just
Hector's just getting free bleed now at this point.
Yeah, just Bloop being there, like, get the kill or whatever on the I-7, or leave him as a one-shot, but...
Oh, Fluky's actually going for the lights. They actually think it's worth it to let Hector farm him.
And yeah, I don't see why not. It's only the CS that can help him, and Bloop is gonna die! Down he goes. Flare down 2,000 HP on their map of choice. Nexus did a series of bad pokes, and then Bloop.
And so we were just talking about how they didn't fall for the bait, but they actually did. And Sheep taking a lot of bleed here on the offside though, trying to get safe.
Dodo took a shot or two, but like,
oh, is Sheep gonna be permed? Oh wow.
Oh.
Skip, if Skip would have aimed for the tracks there, he could have permed him and like just took him out the game.
2 minutes left, though.
Correct.
Tomatitos have a humongous advantage because they pretty much just got the Super Conqueror as a consolation prize. And
it looks like
they have to get kills
they're
now.
Looking to get Sebastian to get aggro against Skip, and then maybe Sheep goes over and they're just gonna finish this 3-line. So maybe like Sheep's gonna go to try to pick the IS-7 or something. I don't know why the T100's in the front here fighting this. Like,
oh, Hector got the kill on Dark though. Yeah, he got a shot into Dodo, took one of the hits, and then I mean,
yeah, I think that Fluky and the Leo need to come in, and then somebody needs to pick like the T100 just picks the IS-7 because they don't have enough time for this to happen.
And
it looks like they're gonna have Fluky going by himself.
Fluky just do a 1v1. We have to get the stuff on the other side of the map.
Right.
Fluky pens 2. Even if he takes 2 in return, he can reload and kill him, or that's all he can really do. And Dodo most likely right now is looking for shots on other people.
And probably they're telling External to run, but I don't know if he can now.
They're gonna go for cap.
Ooh, to secure it.
Oh, they're gonna be able to cap out if External's unable to get there in time. Now, External has HP. Onion's not gonna be able to get resets, but
no,
it's gonna be really tight for External.
Oh, it looks like Sebastian. It's really hard. Amarak? That reload is really long.
It is really, really long.
Oh, what was that? SA ping?
He needed to take his time there. Here comes External, but it's too little too late. They have to cap.
Too little too late.
It's just not going to happen. And some big blunders by Flare in their first round of the postseason.
Sebastian going to get the kill.
On proc, and Tomatitos playing really well and especially punishing the mistakes that Flare are making really hard. Quick 2-0 lead to Tomatitos.
Whew! Wow. My SA boy's coming out on top.
Yeah, that poke, we can see the post-game stats. Hector got 4k damage and 4 kills.
Hector and 4k.
About 2,000 of that was against Bloop. And correct. Bloop, yes, he did get the kill, but you could see how Bloop and Dodo arrived at the same time. Now, Super Conqueror's a lot slower. But the call was clearly, we have to go up. Like, Nexus took a bunch of hits, and it's okay, now we have to go up. We have to pick this guy. And Dodo went up and drove over and shot him in the butt twice. And Bloop hesitated. And then got up there much later, and then just kind of tried to back off instead of just maybe accepting the shots on the side and just try to get safe. But yeah, I thought Flare had it with like 4 minutes left before the push came, but that is not the case.
I'm really this is actually not going the way I thought. The reason why I'm saying that is because I didn't think that they were going to win on Team Flair's map choice. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were going to win on their map choice. I thought that it was going to be one of those scenarios where we were going to see a lot of 1-1s, right? I
Yeah.
thought it was going
I
to be
could have
like,
seen a
no
1-1 on proc
mm,
even.
right. I thought we were going to see a lot of 1-1s like, ooh, Toma winning their defense on proc. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
Team Flair winning their defense on, Cliff, or attack, winning an attack. I thought we're gonna see something like that. We are not seeing that. We're seeing them just 2-0. But here's the thing. It's best of what?
Best of 9, first to 5. So
Correct.
there's still plenty of time for Flair
There's
to
still
come
plenty
back.
of time. They literally
But if they
can.
play like they did in these first 2 rounds,
Right.
they aren't coming back because they
Mm-mm.
look sluggish, they looked indecisive, and they looked like they just multiple players are making multiple mistakes. Now, they are a very experienced team, and
Correct.
in their brains, they just need to be like, proc's over, figure it out later.
Right.
Let's focus on the next map. You know what that next map's going to be? It's a fast one. It's Cliff.
It is. It is. It is Cliff. And to be honest with you, we've seen both of these teams actually in the past have gone back and forth on Cliff. So this is going to be an interesting one.